Hello guys, welcome back to City Skylines. We are back in Brickville, the new area in Port Douglas, the city of Port Douglas that we are working on. And if you want the full backstory of Brickville, then check the most recent episode where we cover that a bit more in depth. But to give a quick sum up, we are working on this former working class neighborhood that's gonna fill this entire area. And it's gonna be kind of segmented into different parts because we're planning on having the industrial port out here. And as we get closer to the port, Brickville will be a little less gentrified for each meter we get closer to the port. But this area we've built so far that is really close to the downtown of Port Douglas and the train station is pretty gentrified. These row houses were initially built to house, working class people working at the dockyards, but today, yeah, not so much working class. It's all about frappuccinos and iPhones now. And for today's episode, we are gonna just continue expanding. I don't have any set plans. I'm just gonna try and continue this theme, and then we'll just kind of fill out as much as we can, and yeah, should be fun. I think I'm gonna start with this area here near the train tracks, and I'd like to have primarily a row houses, but I'm also hopeful that I can maybe fit a warehouse or two in here, and that's gonna be another theme as we expand Brickville to the north here. We're gonna have more and more row houses and not row houses, sorry, warehouses, and hopefully some industrial buildings that we can kind of make it look like they've been converted into cool flats. So without further ado, I think we should just get going with this area. And something I'd like to do here is to just right off the bat get a really small street going here, sort of like a back alley of a sort. So I think we should just start over here. Now, something that you can also see is pretty prevalent here in Brickville are these public housing projects from the 70s and 80s. So yeah, it really is a mixed area. There used to be old buildings here, maybe row houses even, but they're just they're in too bad of a state to really keep. So a bit of eminent domain and some public housing was built instead. So that's also definitely a part of Brickville. I also hope that we in this episode can detail up our tram line a bit more because we haven't really detailed up any of the stops and such. But yeah, like I said, we're starting with this area here, and wanna create like a really narrow road here that kind of follows underneath this bridge if it is possible. I'm really having issues due to snapping, I suppose. Can we disable that? Thank you. And enable this. And we'll just draw it here for now. Yoink. There you go. Make it real snug with the train tracks. So I think I'm gonna try and place, see if I can find a small warehouse or something, place that first, add a bit of character to the area, and then I can go crazy with the row houses afterwards. All right, and for the row houses, they've been a bit of a pain to kind of place because they're not part of one particular theme. So one thing I am gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna add a tag to each of the ones that I would like to use to just make it a lot easier to use them. And to do this, I'm using the Find It mod, and what I can basically do is when I find a row house of some sort, if I click this little button here, I can add it to a a theme basically. So if I just write row and hit enter, then I'll be able to type row in search, and I've got this this row house marked up now. And this allows me to very easily group these houses, so I can add this as well. So instead of now having to just generically search for low density and the lot size I want, I can just say row, and I know that only the ones that have tagged up will actually show up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with all the row houses I'd like to use. Cool, with all these added, it took a bit of time, but it makes it all the more easier for me now. I can say row, and we can turn this down to 2 or 3 rather, and then something you can do if you want to place these fast, I'll show what I mean. So I can place these really fast now, is you go into find it and you can bind the random key. I've bounded this random selection to R, so each time I have something displayed here and find it, if I hit R, it just selects a random one. Works wonderfully to build fast. And I think I'm just gonna try and break it up by adding a bit of some low density commercial. Just a few shops. And I'm just gonna draw these a little closer to this road. Because what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna go grab node controller, and then I'm gonna shrink this road. I'm gonna make it, let's see, we're gonna go down to 85%. I'm gonna pick the blue one here, do the same, and we've got this green one, 85%. Cool. That gives us a much narrower road, but it's still wide enough for no clipping between the cars. And that just about gives us enough room to fit in these. So that's perfect. And I think I'm gonna leave a space here. So there used to be another row house here, but for whatever reason there isn't anymore. So we'll probably just have some, trash cans or something. And here we got a really modern row house. Remember that this area is heavily gentrifying and fast. Also this part near the train tracks actually. Because you will have some noise from the trains, of course, but you're just so close to the heart of Port Douglas, which really is the central city of the region if you want that big city life. So that's what I was talking about with all the frappuccinos and other expensive coffees. And in this case, we are having just a bit of clipping here, so I'm just gonna remove this one and pick something else. Maybe even another industrial unit could be fun. Gonna go grab a slab of concrete so that I don't have to mess with the surface painter, and then add some concrete areas behind these industrial units. And over here it's probably easy to just use the surface painter, because it's okay with a bit of clipping as long as it's hidden underneath this bridge. Our glorious tram bridge. And we're adding a old broken fence here. And then I think that sort of is the amount of detail we are going for right now, and I think we're just gonna use intersection marking tool mod to detail up some of these streets here. I would like some beautiful old trees to line these streets, and to best achieve that, I'm gonna remove some of the parking. And let's see, I would like a note here. Is this too close? No. There you go. This allows me to, oh, I just need to shrink this area as well to 85, and the same here, 85. And then I can grab these segments here, and I can make these fillers that you guys know I love to make. And we're gonna select grass, and we're gonna add some curbing. We're gonna lower it so that it's in line with the curbs. I'm gonna copy it, paste it over here. Perfect. Or is it perfect? There's an issue here, I think. Yeah, we need to add something here. There you go. I'll grab this and copy it, and I'll add it over here. And let's see, this is the weirdest node. That's because there actually is a node in here. So let's see if we can select it. I don't think I can. I know there's a tiny node in there, but I can't seem to select it. I probably can if I, yeah, there it is. So I can adjust this node here. There you go. And then I should be able, there you go, to select it and add my fillers. Perfect. What I can do now is grab the traffic manager Preston Edition mod, and I can say no parking here. No parking on my fillers, please. And then I can of course go ahead and add the trees that I would like. And I'm gonna go with some big pine shores here, I think. That's not, it doesn't say pine shore. Now it does. And I'll remember to set the brush strength to 0, or at least not 1, because if it's 1, then often when I click, it actually places 2 trees, and that's definitely not what I want. But I do want some big, beautiful trees here. Let's see which ones we're going with. These are really nice. These are just a tad too big, maybe, so maybe we're going with these. And let's grab our first person camera mod. Go have a look. And we've got a successful young businesswoman standing in the middle of the street with her doggo. But I mean, there's barely any traffic here, and it's a highly desirable gentrified area. So who else would it be than Jenny? This is Jenny, successful businesswoman, and she is just basking in the mortgage she has acquired to buy a row house here. But of course, at least it enables her to stand in the middle of the street, even though she's really close to downtown Port Douglas. So I mean, there's a BMW coming up, and yeah, BMW drivers, you know, Jenny, get off the road. All right. I guess one thing I could do now is just detail up this lot right here. Just some really simple stuff. Cool, I think that's it for this detailing. So really simple, just enough to add a bit of character. And we can just add a bit of damage here to the ground. That's gonna do the trick, I think. Whoops. And then I'd like to make this road just a tiny bit more unique by adding a median actually. So blue is this one, we're gonna expand that. And it's the red node here, we're gonna expand that so that it's actually 10% larger, but that is gonna allow us to add a really simple median. If I can connect these up, of course. There you go. And then I can drag this closer. And I'll have to go over here to find it, I think. So we've got a filler, which we can turn into grass and add some curbing. There you go, really, really simple. Then see if we can find a really small tree to add. There you go, I think that is a nice little look. And I think here we're gonna add yet another couple of... We're gonna add a node here, and then we are gonna grab our filler from over here. Copy paste it over here and just add it. I want a lot of greenery, basically. Some beautiful old trees that really adds a lot of character to neighborhoods, I find, and you know, having them along these fillers on the roads is a great way of achieving it, I find. We're just gonna raise this ever so slightly to ensure it covers up perfectly, and we do the same over here, just a bit more. There you go, and we're gonna grab the same type of tree and we'll add one here and one here. And then of course, let's not forget, no parking here. Sorry boys, get out. And yeah, this looks really nice. Traffic is just completely stopped. And I've noticed that sort of happens, and when I click on them it says thinking of a good parking spot driving to work. I haven't seen that before, so it's kind of new to me. And I'm wondering if I should maybe select a different type of tree here to, you know, not cover it up as much. I think the tree I'm using sort of cover... Whoa. Well, it's a beautiful one, but yeah. That's bigger than planned for, at least. Alternatively, something I could do was to just have a filler on one side and then have like an asymmetrical look. Oh, this is actually a beautiful tree as well. What's this one called? A eastern cottonwood, native to North America. I think I'm actually gonna do that. We're gonna pick this one because no, that was too big. Let's go in the medium trees and see what we've got. It's a little difficult because I want it to be a big tree, but not so chunky that it covers up all the detailing we've done. You know, we want to be able to also see this area, if that makes sense. And this is our shell pine, so I think we're actually gonna go with that. But then what we're gonna do is we are going to remove this filler here. And then we'll paste the, no, wait, sorry. We're gonna copy this setup and paste it here. But we're gonna flip it like so. And we're gonna paste it here. Yes, and flip it. And then we'll move this tree over here. So that there's a bit of an asymmetrical filler setup. I think that looks a little better. This is really majoring in the minors, but I mean, I just love detailing. And we'll move this filler, I think. There you go. And we'll allow for parking again. And we're gonna do the same here. Add more nodes, which of course we're gonna have to shrink a bit. There are some thick boys right now. 85. 85. Then in true Coniferia fashion, we're gonna use a solid line to denote parking. Which I know is a little weird, it's just a thing of the region basically. And we might even make it just a little more interesting by making it like a maroon red of some sort. Which makes it even weirder. Perfect. Perfectly weird. Alright, this area is starting to look real nice. I didn't really intend to go this heavy on the detailing, but it's just a ton of fun experimenting with these really small, narrow, tight streets. And I just... dude, come on, Dexter. You can't park here. I mean... look what he did to his Toyota. I mean... that's gonna be an expensive repair bill. I'm sorry, man. Ooh. Yeah, weird things happening, but yeah, it takes a bit of time for the game to register that people can't actually park here. So yeah, they'll have to move their cars at some point, I suppose. But yeah, spending a lot of time detailing this area, but it's just a lot of fun as these guys are definitely thinking of a good parking spot driving to work. That is so weird. Why are they stopping? I mean, my game is acting a little weird recently, and I'm not a fan. One thing I'd like to do is I think I'm gonna upgrade this road back here to a one-way road with parking alongside that street here. So let's just upgrade this. It's a narrow road as well, which I like. I love this small one with parking on one side. Big fan. I'm just gonna fix some of the textures here, which is gonna be a bit messy because I ruined gravel textures due to the train tracks. But I guess that's fine. We don't actually need like pavement here, I think. We can stop there. Very nice. And then I'm just gonna adjust it ever so slightly. So that our street lights don't really clip into the train tracks. I don't think I want that. But now we're gonna get some street parking here. And to make things cool, we're gonna add a few more fillers here, I think. So let's have some there, and we got a node here as well, but we'll have it behind these row houses, I think, like that. And luckily we can just copy paste now from this one. Yoink. Go up here and add it. So that's the really cool thing with the intersection marking tool. As soon as you've created like some details, some stuff that you like, you can rather easily go and just copy paste it to other parts as well, which is of course fantastic. It's got these small trees, but I think we're actually gonna continue our theme with these larger trees back here. I think that adds a lot of character to this area. Cool, that looks great. One thing I'm thinking about is removing these and yeah, creating some. I'm not a big fan here. I think I'm gonna remove these buildings. Sorry to those. Yeah, I'm sorry. Please get out of my city. I'm building something else. And I think I'm gonna build some. Can we actually build some row houses here as well? I mean, we can. And we could actually have a narrow road go beneath this bridge, which would, I think, would be pretty cool. Make for a really interesting design here. Of course, I need to ensure that you can actually drive your car under this bridge. And I think it looks like there's ample space for that. We're gonna move this pillar a bit. The supports. There you go, that's pretty cool. And I think we've got a node here in the middle that if I could just pick it, I can pick these and then they slope and now it looks all right again. Does this work? What a weird construction. That is incredibly weird. Not necessarily bad, just weird. Let's see how it looks. What do you guys think? Should we keep this? That looks really funky though. I don't know. I like it more than the one we had before, to be honest. I did not like what I had done here before. Now I'd like to detail up some of these tram stops. And let's see, we've got a stop here. Cool. So we'd like to add... I guess we'd like to add something like this. Because these are the tram stops that we use elsewhere in the city. So we'll add that here. We'll just adjust it ever so slightly. Make sure that it's aligned with the terrain. Cool. And then we're gonna need some pavement of some sort to walk on. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some additional nodes so that we can squeeze in this stop like so, because then I can grab this area to work with. And then I should be able to actually create some fillers that I can use. So if I remove these trees and we create the fillers we want, and this will probably just be pavement, right? And I'm going here, we say pavement, we lower it, then I'm gonna try and align it and see if that doesn't work perfectly. And we can actually bring it all the way over to the tram, which I think would be pretty cool. Can't really see what I'm doing here. There you go. And then, of course, we need to lower it. And I guess preferably we're actually gonna select this node and we're gonna make it even smaller. And the same over here. We don't want to squeeze it too much because the network is probably gonna act a little wonky if we do. But of course the issue is we also have a stop over here. And I've noticed that people reach this stop by walking here. So we need to also make some sort of a pavement filler here. And just adjust it. Now this does take time, guys, but as you know, when we've done this once, we can pretty much copy paste our way through the rest of them. Cool, so I think that is actually a pretty good look. And what we can do now is we can copy this. No, wait. There's one more thing I'd like to do. If I make a line here, let's see if I can find it. We've got it here. Can I add a prop maybe? A fence of some... yeah. Beer garden bench. No, I'd like to just add like a... What is this? Yeah, that doesn't really work for me. I remember now. I need to pick a decorative net. Whoa. Park fence maybe? That actually looks okay, I think. Oh, it's way too tall though. That's even worse. If I pick like a... Can I then... Wait, can I do that with the other fences as well? Because then maybe that's just what I'm gonna do. If I can just... no, for these fences I can't actually lower them into the ground. That's a bit of a bummer. But I can pick this and make it narrow and lower it a bit. But this is a bit of a weird wall to use here, isn't it? Maybe this one. We'll make it super narrow and we'll lower it. Yeah, let's try this, and then I can copy paste it over here. And I can say okay. Like so. And I'll just align these because this isn't working perfectly. And I'm trying to align the wrong thing, I can see. I'll align the wall here. And align this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete this filler, of course, because that's not necessary here. This is not where the stop is. And I guess this sort of works. I wonder if there's actually room for this stop over here as well. That would be kind of cool. There actually is. It's clipping a bit into the wall, but I have to move that. I'm letting perfect get in the way of something that is alright. Which I shouldn't. Sorry guys. There you go. That is a detailed tram stop. Very, very cool. Now it's the copy paste job that we want. So I think we've actually only got, we've only got one more station on this type of tram road. So we'll just copy paste it over here. Perfect. Grab this. We'll align not the tree. It's a nice tree, that's not the problem, but yeah. This is not the place, my friend. And we'll move this around. Make sure it stays clear. Perfect. Next up, I'm gonna remove this vanilla building. Yoink. I do my best to incorporate vanilla, as you guys can see. but some of them are just absolutely hideous, and I think that bad boy was that was kind of in that category. So off with ya. So I'll have to place something else on this awkward spot here, and I might just do even more, row houses. Could do a modern construction line. Nah, I'm gonna do more narrow stuff, I think. And this, I think, is a really nice contrast that we've managed to establish. Just gonna bring that in just a bit. There you go. Make sure it's not clipping too much. There you go. So we've got a beautiful old building here next to a really modern, truly hipster development. And we're just detailing up this main street a bit. If it's a hip area where you can spend all your money on coffee, I mean, we need coffee places then. And now we're gonna focusing on this area here, which is currently rather empty. Alright guys, this ended up being a bit more of a high detail build than I anticipated, but I don't really mind because I think that the streets we've created around this area are just absolutely fantastic. I can really see why the housing prices have kind of skyrocketed in this area, because I think it's super cozy. These narrow streets with these fantastic old row houses and these beautiful old trees. Yeah, I think they're just super cozy looking. I love how we also managed to detail up Brickville Avenue, the main avenue cutting through the area, adding some coffee shops, some places to eat outside. Yeah, really like how that turned out. So yeah, if you're stuck with me for this long, thank you so much for all the support. And if you leave a like and a comment, I would really appreciate it. Look at the speed this train is. Wow. I'm gonna need to adjust that. I think one of you commented on the last video as well that I should adjust it. But yeah, as I was saying, a like and a comment would really help. I'd really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed and enabled notifications already, you are of course very welcome to do so you don't miss out on any future content. But I think that's it for this one. A really fun, small, cozy build that we got done. I'll make sure to shoot some juicy cinematics for you guys that you can see in just a second. So yeah, have a really nice evening or morning or whatever it is where you're from. Until I see you guys in the next one. Bye.